Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. I'm excited to be here. Rob Booker, best-selling author of Adventures of a Currency Trader and Trading by Faith. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like what we're doing here. Yesterday I told you about a trade that I took. I told you about this trade I took on the Euro New Zealand. So I was stuck in some buy trades. I bought it here, I bought it here, I bought it a couple different places. And those trades were small losses. I was down like 2% on those trades. So nothing significant. I took an extra trade right here and it moved against me. So I stopped out and I took a $147 loss. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is the story of the mistake that I made on taking a trade size that was too big, and then what I did about it, and why I'm back in that trade right now. Plus, at the end, I'll tell you more about how you can get the indicator that I'm using on the screen, plus some lessons. All that starting right now. Buddy, so made a mistake today, and I thought I'd make a little video about it. So welcome. Glad to see you here. This may be a little embarrassing for me, so I apologize in advance for being embarrassed. But all right, so I want to show you what I did and what's wrong. So I have a bad Euro New Zealand trade going on. So I traded the Euro New Zealand, and it went bad. It went down by like $270 or 2.7%. And I was really unhappy about it. And I decided I would be looking for a buy trade that I could take that would help me get out of this situation. So I found a buy trade and I really like the buy trade. And now I'll walk you through what I like about the buy trade in just a moment, because we're going to come back to that. But what I did was, by mistake, I traded 1.5 standard lots instead of trading. This is such a ridiculous thing. Instead of trading 1.5 mini lots. So I made an error, and it's really unfortunate because that trade is now down $147. Now, there's some silver lining on this, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So there is silver lining on it, but the first thing I have to do is this. I got to close the trade. So that's the first thing I have to do. My highest responsibility in this situation is to not lose more money and not turn what was, maybe a small, less meaningful blunder into some kind of giant problem. So I want to tell you what I like about the trade and what I'm going to do next about this trade. So let's pull up my trading view charts, because that might be a better view of the situation. Okay, I want to go to the 15-minute chart is exactly what I want to look at. So what we have here is on the Euro New Zealand on a 15-minute chart, but you can see it on even a 1-hour chart, is kind of, not kind of, I mean, it is. It's a head and shoulders pattern. And it's like an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And we're just now breaking out above that right shoulder. You could even put another, double shoulder right down here. What generally will happen now is that we will see this fall back here, and then it'll take off. Now, if that reversal is really meant to be, which I think it is, and we've got all kinds of really wonderful profit targets. We've got a weekly pivot right up here, a long way up there. And typically what will happen is that price will easily get, in a situation like this, it will easily get to halfway the distance to that weekly pivot. And so I like it, but I need to wait for that drop before I can trade it again, because I traded it too early. So what I'm going to do is set an alert so that I get notified when it drops, and I get back in front of the screen and take responsibility for the situation. And then I just hammer this home. Then I just put a big old wallop on it. Time to buy. So here's the list of things to do when something like this goes wrong. Okay, number one, cut off the mistake. Immediately cut off what's potentially going to cause an enormous amount of pain and disappointment. Do not let that take over your account, because there's a possibility here that this would fall, let's just say worst case scenario, 200 pips in some kind of sudden move today. And then I'm down $2,000. All of a sudden I just have a horrendous loss. So that has to be the first thing. And when I do that, I have a consequence. I have a consequence that price may move up, and I may now miss the chance to get out of that trade, and all I'm left with is a $147 loss. But that's the consequence because I made a mistake in the first place. It's not somebody else's fault. And I can get the money back. So no matter what happens next, I made the right call. The second thing I got to do is get a plan for revenge. And I use revenge in a playful manner here. I got to get that money back. That's my money. I made a mistake, but I can come back from that. In fact, what most traders do, as long as the loss was small, what most traders will do is, with their back against the wall and a small loss just taken, they're going to come back and with a lot of focus and a lot of clarity. And there's nothing like losing to give a trader a lot of clarity, meaning when you get into a position too early or with the wrong size and have to close it out, you start to see the market for what it really is. And it's almost as if the first pass, like the first look, there's an eye. It's almost like the first look is always clouded, but it's the second look that makes the money. So you take a first look at a financial instrument, and it's clouded by your interest in trading and your excitement about trading and your level of enthusiasm for trading and your addiction to trading or whatever it is. And you have this first look, and it leads to, because there's so much emotion tied up in it and excitement tied up in it, it can lead to over trading or trading too big or whatever else. And then it's the second look after the loss, when your preconceived notions have been destroyed or disrupted, or you realize that the mistake's been made and you've come back down to earth, and then you see things for what they really are. This is true of things in life. You meet someone, you get excited about them, you don't see their faults, you get involved with them, you see their faults, you break up, and then you see the world for what it really is, and maybe you make a better choice the next time around. And the same is true of almost every opportunity. You go to the grocery store and you take a first look at the cookies, and then you eat all the cookies, and then you feel sick inside, and then you go, man, I shouldn't have eaten the cookies, and now I see the world for what it really is. That kind of thing, and overeating on that kind of thing is bad. I now see the world with much more clarity. And you can't get clarity in life without mistakes. So mistakes are not just essential, they're important. Anyway, that's just a thought. I'm super happy to be here with you. Sorry to show you a mistake that I made. I hope I can come back soon and show you the resolution of this trade and what I did about it and how it worked. Okay, if you like the content that I'm putting up here, hit the subscribe button here on YouTube and let me know you liked the content. Or if you're watching on Facebook, leave a comment below and say hello, or tell me what you think about all this. And we'll stay in touch. Okay, bye for now, everyone. Okay, friends, I'm back. It's the day after, and here's what happened. So I stopped out of the trade. I took a bonus trade, and I stopped out right there. Remember that 1.5 lot trade, and I lost $147. And then what I did was I took another trade. I took the trade all over again once it dropped lower. And this is the ideal spot where I should have bought it again, but I bought it around this area right here. And so now it's currently profitable, meaning the second trade is up, and I took it with the same trade size, the big trade size, and I was ready to stop out of it if it went against me. And right now that trade is doing pretty nicely. Earlier this morning, the entire trade, the entire Euro New Zealand trade was no longer a loss. The entire trade had come back. And now what I'm doing is I'm not going to get ridiculous here, but let's see if I can show you this here. So there we go. So the entire New Zealand, Euro New Zealand trade right here, it's up $200 on the third trade that I'm in. And that's going to go sometime today, probably much more profitable than that. And I'm expecting or thinking that we're going to shoot upward toward this weekly pivot right here in this zone. I don't even need to get all that way. I could get halfway the distance to that and be completely fine and super happy. And so I'll just keep you notified. I'll keep you in the loop on what I did. Now, also, last of all, final. Here's this reversal tab here on the screen. Now, I've got a whole brand new set of lessons that are free that are coming about this indicator. And I've got the indicator for MetaTrader and for TradingView. And tomorrow, I'm going to put a link in this video, and I'm going to send an email out to everybody on planet Earth, and I'm going to offer you the chance to download it because I've gotten a lot of questions about it. I'm setting up a page where you can enter your email, and I'll send you the lessons, and you'll log into a class area, and you'll get everything, the downloads and everything else for MetaTrader and for TradingView. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited to bring that to you, and I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye for now.